Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr. Max. In this lesson, we are going to revise from November 2016 Trigonometry section, paper 2. Okay, November 2016 Trigonometry, question number 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so let's start question number 5, 5.1. November 2016, question number 5, 5.1. Given sine 16 is equal to P. So it is given that sine of 16 is equal to P and determine the following in terms of P. So you have to answer the remaining questions in terms of P. In terms of P means in your answer you don't want a particular number. The P must be there. Okay, in terms of P without using a calculator. What is the first question? 5.1.1. 5.1.1 sine 196, sine of 196. So first of all what you have to do is we know only sine 16. Sine 16 is P, am I right? Okay, we know only sine 16, that is P, and we have to write this one in terms of P. So let me write this one with a red pen. We know that it is given that sine 16 is equal to P. This is what we know. So sine 196. So 196 means this one is 180. So 196 means it's on the third quadrant. Okay, third quadrant, how can you write? 180 plus theta. Am I right? Third quadrant 180 plus theta. So here how can I write like that? Sine of 180 plus 180 plus which number is 196? 16. Am I right? 180 plus 16 is 196. So it is 180 plus 16. So here 180 plus 16. 180 plus 16, you know that is in the third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? Tan is positive. Here what? Sine. So listen once more, we are trying to apply the reduction formula now. Okay, so you have to answer, you have to ask yourself like in this order. Okay, 180 plus 16 is in which quadrant? 180 plus 16 is in the third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? Tan is positive. Here what? Sine. So it is negative. 180 plus 16 is in the third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? Tan is positive. Here what? Sine. So it is negative. Then if it is based on 180 or 360, no change in the trigonometry. So here sine itself. Okay, then sine 60. And so that is minus, what is sine 16? It is given in the question that sine 16 is P. So it is minus P. And now you can see that we got an expression for sine of 196 in terms of P. What is that answer? Minus P. So that is question number 5.1.1. Now let's move to the next question, 5.1.2. Excuse me. Question number 5.1.2. What is that question? Question number 5.1.2. Cos of 16. You have to find what is cos 16. How can you find cos 16? Okay, so now let me explain something here. But when you write your exam, you don't want to write all of that step. You have to know that one. Okay, so in grade 10 you studied this identity, sine squared x plus cos squared x. What is answer? Sine squared x plus cos squared x, that is 1. Am I right? Okay, so from here what is cos squared x? Take this sine squared x to the other side. Am I right? So it is this 1 minus sine square x. This positive sine squared x, on the other side it is minus sine squared x. So cos squared x is this one. So what is cos x? Cos squared x is that one. So what is cos x? Square root of 1 minus sine square x. Am I right? Okay, so try to understand this one. You have to remember this one. Okay, cos x is square root of 1 minus sine square x. Similarly, if in one question, another question, if they ask sine x, immediately you have to write sine x. You have to know that, okay, that is root of 1 minus cos square x. You have to know like that. Okay, so now you are in grade 12. You can write directly that one. Sine x is root of 1 minus cos squared. Cos x is root of 1 minus sine square x. Okay, so here what is our question? Cos 16. Okay, we don't know anything about cos 16. We know only sine 16 is p. Okay, so directly write what is this cos 16 in terms of sine. Look at this one. Cos x is root of 1 minus sine square x. So what is cos 16? Root of 1 minus sine square x. X is 16. So 1 minus sine square 16. Can you see that? So if you know this one, you can directly write, okay, cos 16 is root of 1 minus sine squared 16. Then what is sine 16? Sine 16 is p. So what is this one? Root of 1 minus sine 16 is p. So here it is sine square 16. So it is p square. So here you can see that you got an expression for cos 16 in terms of p. What is that expression? Root of 1 minus p square. Okay, so try to understand this one. Okay, you have to keep that in your mind. Okay, cos x is root of 1 minus sine squared x. Sin x is root of 1 minus cos square x. Okay, so that is 5.1.2. now let's go to 5.2. okay, question number 5.2. Question number 5.2. What is that one? Cos of a minus b is equal to, given cos of a minus b is equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. So it is given that cos of a minus b is equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. It is given like that expansion. Cos a minus b is equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. Okay, so based on that one, what do you want to write? Look at that question. Use the formula for cos of a minus b. You have to use this formula. Okay, to derive a formula for sin of a plus b, you have to derive a formula for sin of a plus b. Okay, so you have to use this formula to derive a formula for sin of a plus b. Okay, so now how can you prove that one? Or it's like a theorem. Okay, how can you prove that one? So now try to understand, like once in another lesson I told you this, for example, sine of 30. How can I write this one as cos? This sine of 30 is the same as cos of 60. You know how can you find? Just to subtract from 90. What is 90 minus 30? 60. Then you have to write that is the same as cos of 60. You can check in your calculator. You will get the same answer. This is 1 over 2. This is also 1 over 2. That's a special angle. Okay. Okay. Sine of for another cos 20. What is sine? Sine of 90 minus 20, that is 70. That means sine of 70. Sine 50. Cos what? Cos of what? 90 minus 50, that is cos of 40. So we can convert like this. So now look at this one. Sine of a plus b. This is our angle. A plus b is our angle. So how can I write that one in terms of cos? We have to use this formula. That is the question. Okay. So how can I write that one in terms of cos? I can write this one as cos of, how do I get this 40? This 90 minus this 50, am I right? This angle. So here the angle is a plus b. That's the only difference. Okay. So it is 90 minus a plus b. So 90 minus a plus b, that is sine of a plus b. Okay. So sine of 50. How do I get 40? Sine of this 50, 90 minus 50. What is 90 minus 50? 40. That is cos of 40. Okay. So instead of 50 here it is a plus b. So how can I write in terms of cos? 90 minus a plus b. That is the same as sine of this one is the same as cos of that one. Okay. Okay. Now expand this one. So here it is. This is cos of 90 minus a, minus into minus is, I mean minus into plus is minus b. I expanded that bracket. Minus into a is minus a, minus into plus b is minus b. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these two as one unit and this one as separate. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine this one. This is I'm going to consider as one. Okay. And this one is second one. Okay. So what is that one? Cos of, I'm going to write it like this, 90 minus a minus b. It's the same thing, am I right? 90 minus b, that is this one, that is this one, that is this one. Okay, so this is one first term and this is the second term. Okay, so now you must be careful, you must apply your mind there. It's nothing guys, but you have to understand. Okay, this 90 cos of what is given? Cos of a minus b. Okay, so now what you have to do is here you have to consider this 90 minus a as your a. Okay, 90 minus a is your a and this b is your b. Okay, so look at this, let's read with the a and b. Cos of a minus b, is it not like this? Cos of a minus b, you understand? Okay, so cos of, I call this 90 minus a as a and this b same b. Okay, so is it not like that? Cos of a minus b. If it is like this, you can expand like that. Okay, so here this one I'm going to expand like that. Okay, so what is that expansion? Cos a, so what is that one? Cos of a, so my a is 90 minus a, so it is 90 minus a into sine, cos a into cos b, into cos b is b, same thing. Okay, then plus sine a, sine of what is our a? 90 minus a, then sine b, our b is also the same, sine b. Okay, now next step, 90 minus a, 90 minus a is in which quadrant? First quadrant, am I right? 90 minus a is in the first quadrant. First quadrant all are positive, but if it is based on 90 or 270 vertical line, you have to change to its co-function, am I right? That's a rule. Okay, so it is cos changes to sine a because of this 90. Okay, then cos b, then plus 90 minus a, sine of 90 minus a. 90 minus means first quadrant all are positive, but if it is based on 90 or 270, it change to its co-function. What is the co-function of sine? Cos, so it is cos a into sine b. So look at this one, sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. So do you know the expansion for the sine of a plus b? That is this one, sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, and that is how you got the expansion like this using this cos of a minus b equation. Okay, so that is question number 5.2. now let's move to next question, 5.3. okay, question number 5.3. What is that question? Simplify root of, you have to simplify root of 1 minus cos square 2a divided by cos of minus a into cos of 90 plus a. So you have to simplify root of 1 minus cos square 2a divided by cos of minus a into cos of 90 plus a. Okay, so how can you simplify this one, guys? How can you simplify this one? Root of 1 minus cos square 2a. Like in the previous question, I told you, when you see something like that, root of 1 minus cos square a, what is that one? That is sine a. Sine a is equal to root of 1 minus cos squared a. Do you remember previous question I explained somewhere there? Okay, so sine a is root of 1 minus cos squared a. So what about the root of 1 minus cos square 2a? The only difference is here it is a, here it is 2a. So what you have to write? That is sine 2a. You understand? So listen once more. Actually, you can write it like this: sine square 2a plus cos square 2a is equal to 1. You studied that identity. Okay, this is just an angle. Instead of a, here it is 2a. That's the only difference, but it's the same thing. So from there, what is sine square 2a? What is sine square 2a? 1 minus, take this one to the other side, so it is 1 minus cos squared 2a. Am I right? So from here, what is sine 2a? Sine square 2a is this one. So sine 2a is root of 1 minus cos square 2a. Is it not that this one? Okay, so it means that instead of this one, that is the same as sine 2a. Okay, so here we can write that is sine 2a divided by cos of minus theta. That you have to know. Cos of minus theta. What is that? It is not minus cos theta. It is positive cos theta. I explained many times in different past question papers. You have to remember this one. Sine of minus theta. What is the answer? Minus sine theta. Cos of minus theta. That is not minus cos theta. That is positive cos theta. Tan of minus theta. It's not positive, it's negative tan this. So only difference is for this cos. Cos of minus theta is the same as cos theta. So here cos of minus a. So that is the same as cos of a. Okay. Cos of 90 plus a. 90 plus a. 90 plus a is in which quadrant, guys? 90 plus a. Is it in the first quadrant or second quadrant? 90 plus means it's on the second. Here it is 90 minus a. Okay, 90 plus a, second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? Cos. So it is negative. So follow that order. 90 plus a is in which order? Quadrant. Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? Cos. So it is negative. Do you understand? But if it is based on 90 or 270 vertical line, you have to change to its cofunction. What is the cofunction of cos? It's a sine. So it is minus sine, then the angle A. Okay. So now sine 2a. Look at the numerator. Sine 2a. Is it not a double angle, that one? What is the expansion of sine 2a? That you have to by heart. Okay. So sine 2a is 2 sine a cos a divided by, here let me put the minus here. Okay, then sine a into cos a. It's the same thing. Cosine into sine a is the same as sine into cos a. Sine a cancel. Cos a cancel. So what is remaining? 2 divided by this minus. We can't avoid that minus. Okay, minus 1. So the answer is minus 2. Okay, so that is question number 5.3. Now let's move to next question, 5.4. Okay, question number 5.4. 5.4. What is that question? Given cos 2b is equal to 3 over 5. So given cos 2b is equal to 3 over 5, and what is the domain? 0 less than or equal to b less than or equal to 90. 0 to 90 means it's on the first quadrant. Okay, so it is given cos 2b is 3 over 5 and between 0 and 90. Then what is the question? Determine without using a calculator the value of each of the following in the simplest form. So without using calculator, you have to find the answer of the following questions. Okay, so what is the first question? 5.4.1. What is that question? Cos b. You have to find a cos. What is cos b? What is cos b? Okay, so here you must be careful. Before I try to you try to find the cos b. Okay, before you find this cos b, you must be very careful in this one. This type of questions are very important. Okay, what is given? Cos 2b is given. What is the angle b? Do you understand? Okay, so first you have to get an expression for b, not 2b. Do you understand? If I draw the Cartesian plane, 0 to 90 means it's on the first quadrant. And what is this angle? This angle is b. Do you understand? Not 2b. But here what is given? 2b. Okay, so first you have to convert this 2b into b. Then only we can substitute x and x, y and r. Okay, so before I continue with this question, how can I convert this cos 2b into b? Okay, so cos 2b is a double angle. Cos 2b is the same as what? In terms of cos, cos 2b double angle, you studied the three formulas. Okay, first one is 2 cos squared b minus 1. Second one, 1 minus 2 sine square b. And the third one, cos square b minus sine square b. By heart these formulas without any mistake. If there is a slight mistake in this formula, then everything is wrong. Okay, so you must be careful when you by heart this one. Okay, so look at this one. This cos 2b I can convert into b using this formula. Am I right? So this cos 2b is equal to 3 over 5 is the same as 2 cos squared b minus 1 is equal to 3 over 5. So this is the same as 2 cos square b minus 1 is equal to 3 over 5. I wrote that one instead of this cos 2b. Okay, using that double angle formula. Okay, so from there, what is cos squared, or take this minus 1 to the other side. So it is 2 cos square b is equal to 3 over 5. This minus 1 on the other side, it is plus 1. Okay, so now cos square b. Okay, 2 cos square b is equal to, what is answer? Take your calculator, try to find. Or 5 into 1, 5, 5 plus 1, 3, 8 over 5. Now, what is cos squared b? Cos square b is equal to, this 2 is multiplication here. So if I want to take this 2 to the other side, it is division. So it is 8 over 5 times 2. Am I right? Okay, so cos square b is equal to 8 over 10. 5 times 2 is 10. So what is that one? Is it not 4 over 5? Okay, so you simplify this one. 8 over 10 is 4 over 5. So cos squared b is equal to 4 over 5. So what is cos b? Therefore cos b is equal to square root of 4 over 5. Okay, what is our first question? 5.4.1. yeah, 5.4.1, the first question itself to find cos b. Okay, so here square root of 4 over 5, we can write it like this also. Cos b is equal to, what is square root of 4? That is 2. Square root of 5. So it means that square root of 4 over 5, in exponential rule you studied, or a SAT rule you studied, root of a by b, that is the same as root a divided by root b. So root of 4 by 5, root 4 divided by root 5. What is root 4? It is 2. Then root divided by root 5. Okay, so we got an expression for cos b, that is 2 divided by root 5. Okay, now let's go to the next question. 5.4.2. you have to find sin b. Next question is, you have to find a sin b. And 5.4.2. what is sin b? I told you in the previous question that you have to remember these formulas. Okay, so sine B, how can you write directly? What is sine B? Sine B is root of 1 minus cos square B. You have to remember that one. Okay, sine B is root of 1 minus cos square B. How do you get that formula? I told you many times now. Okay, sine square, you know, sine square A plus, or let's say B. Okay, sine square B plus cos square B is equal to 1. So from there, what is sine square B? Sine square B is equal to, take this cos squared B to the other side, so 1 minus cos squared B. So what is sine B? Sine squared B is this one, so sine B is root of 1 minus cos square B. Okay, so without writing all these steps directly, now you are in grade 12, we can write directly. Okay, sine B is the same as root of 1 minus cos squared B. So this is equal to root of 1 minus, what is cos squared, cos B? Cos B is 2 over root 5, previous question. Am I right? So cos square B, that is 2 over root 5 the whole square. Okay, so that is square root of, take a calculator, or in this type of, you can just write one more step, then you use your calculator, doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, what is this one? 1 minus 2 square, that is 4, root 5 square, that is 5. Okay, so now simplify this one. Root of 5 into 1, 5. 5 minus 4 is 1 divided by 5. So the answer is square root of 1 divided by 5. Okay, so square root of 1 is 1, square root of 5. So it means that sine B is 1 over root 5. Okay, so that is question number 5.4.2. now let's go to next question, cos of B plus 45, that is question number 5.4.3. question number 5.4.3. 5.4.3, what is that question? Cos of B plus 45, cos of B plus 45. So this expansion of this one, if you don't know, it's already given in the previous questions, cos of A plus B. Okay, same expansion, so it's better to by heart this formula. Okay, it's very important, you have to by heart this formula, or in case if you have any doubt, you have to look at the formula sheet. Okay, so here cos of B plus 45, what is our expansion? Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So it is cos B cos 45. This is you have to consider this as A and this is your B. So cos A cos B. So cos B cos 45 minus, what is the formula? Sin A sin B. So sin B sin 45. So it is sin B sin 45. Okay, so you have to know this formula. Okay, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So here instead of A, here it is B, instead of B, here it is 45. Okay, so sin cos A cos B minus sin A, this is my A. Okay, so here A is B. Okay, so sin A sin 45. Now what is the answer of cos okay, what is cos B? That was our first question. Cos B we got as what was the answer? We got cos B 2 over root 5. Am I right? Okay, so cos B in the first question 2 over root 5. What is the answer of cos 45? Either you can write root 2 by 2 or 1 over root 2, both are the same thing. Okay, this one or this one, both are same, cos 45. Okay, so I am going to write the simplified one. So it is 1 over root 2 minus sin B, previous question, that is 1 over root 5 times sin 45, that is also special angle 1 over root 2. So here you can see that root 5 into root 2 is root 10 divided by 2 into 1 2 minus 1 into 1 1. So I took the LCM. So if you have any confusion, let me erase that one. 2 into 1 is 2. Root 5 into root 22 is root 10. Root A times root to B. What is answer? Root of AB. Am I right? Okay. So similarly here it is then minus 1 over root 10. So LCM is root 10, then 2 minus 1. So it is 1 over root 10. So the answer is 1 over root 10. So that is question number 5.4.3. Then now let's move to question number 6. Okay, now let's go to next question, question number 6. Question number 6. What is that question? In the diagram, the graph of f of x is equal to 2 sine 2x is drawn for the interval x is an element of minus 180 to 180. So there is a graph given there, and in that graph that is graph of f of x, and the equation of the graph of f of x is also given 2 sine 2x from minus 180 to 180. Okay, so first of all let me draw that graph, then from there we can continue the remaining questions. Okay, so there is a graph given like this. Okay, so this is the graph of f of x given in the question. So this is f of x graph, and that is given in the question. Okay, now based on this f of x graph we have to answer the remaining question. What is the first question? 6.1. On the system of axes on which f is drawn in the answer book, draw the graph of g of x is equal to minus cos 2x. So you have to draw another graph on the same Cartesian plane. Okay, and what is the equation of that graph? G of x. And what is that g of x? Minus cos 2x. You have to draw on the same system of axes. Okay, so how can you draw that one? For that you have to take a calculator. Using your calculator you can find the corresponding points of that g of x. Okay, then just draw that one. It's a very simple thing. Am I right? Okay, so here our equation is g of x is equal to minus cos 2x. So first take your calculator, then make sure that the memory is clear. Memory of this calculator is clear. How can you make clear the memory? First you have to press shift, then 9 3 all 3, then equals, then AC. So I explained how to clear the memory. Okay, so those who didn't understand, just pause the video and rewind, then listen once more. Okay, now we have to draw this graph. So first we have to click on mode, then number 3 table. So number 3 f of x is equal to, so it doesn't matter guys, f of x or g of x, you know that you are going to draw g of x. Okay, so if you want to skip that one, okay, so you have to, anyway you have to type that f of x. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this g of x as f of x, because we know that we are going to draw g of x. Okay, so it doesn't matter, here it is written f of x, so you have to write like this first equation. No, which equation you want to draw, you type that one. Okay, then name f of x, g of x or h of x, doesn't matter. Okay, so here f of x is equal, so I'm going to type this g of x equation there. That is what we want to draw. Okay, so it is minus cos, then 2x, x is alpha, then that close bracket. Okay, then close that bracket. So f of x is equal to minus cos 2x. This is what I typed now. Okay, then press equal to. Now it is asking g of x. So here we don't have, we want to draw only one equation, that is this g of x. Actually we here in our calculator we took that g of x as f of x. So it's the same thing, we just want to draw one graph, that is this one. Okay, so you can just skip that one, that means you press equal to again. So just skip that g of x is equal to. Okay, start means what is the domain? First, starting from minus 180. That means start, you have to type minus 180, then again equal to end, the last domain ending at 180, positive 180. So end is 180, again equal to step. Step means what is the interval you want. So here you can see that this 2 is between this 0 and 95. That means 45. 45 is 2, 90, 135. That means they took the interval as a, you can see in your question paper there are lines there even in between. Okay, so it means you have to take an interval of 45. You have to find all the points in 45 degrees interval. Okay, so here step, in this question we want the interval as 45, so I typed step as 45, then equals. So there you can see that all the points that we are supposed to mark on this one. Okay, so just mark those points what is there in the calculator. Minus 180 minus 1, minus 180 minus 1, that means this point. Then minus 135 0, minus 135 0, that is this point. Minus 91, minus 90 is 1, that is that point. Then minus 45 again 0, then 0 is minus 1, 0 is minus 1, then 45 is 0, 45 0, then 91, 90 back to 1, then 135 0, then 180 minus 1. Now we can join the points. And this is our equation. This is our graph g of x. So try to practice how to find the points using your calculator. Okay, it's very easy to plot the graph if there is a question to plot the graph. Okay, so that is 6.1, draw the graph of g of x. Okay, now let's move to the next question, 6.2. Question number 6.2. What is that question? Write down the maximum value of f of x minus 3. Write down the maximum value of f of x minus 3. You have to write the maximum value of f of x minus 3. Maximum of f of x minus 3. So tell me, this black graph is our f of x graph, am I right? So in this black graph, f of x graph, what is the maximum value? It is 2, am I right? 2 is the maximum value of f of x. Okay, and what is the minimum value of f of x? Don't forget that the black one is our f of x. So here you can see that this turning point f of x is minus 2. That means minimum value is minus 2 and the maximum value is 2 in the case of f of x. So in the case of f of x graph, minimum value is minus 2 and the maximum value is positive 2. But here the question is not to write the maximum value of f of x. What is the question? What is the maximum value of f of x minus 3? So here in this f of x, minimum value is minus 2 and the maximum value is 2. Okay, so f of x minus 3. So it's easy to find like this. You just write minus 3 like this. Okay, then what you have to do is minus 2 minus 3. Minus 2 minus 3 is minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 5. Then 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So this is the minimum value of f of x minus 3 and this is the maximum value of f of x minus 3. Actually, what is the meaning of this f of x minus 3? This f of x graph, this black graph is shifted 3 units downwards. Do you understand? That's the meaning of f of x minus 3. So to find the maximum and minimum, this is an easy method. You just write the minimum and maximum of f of x, then minus 3. Subtract like this. Okay, so therefore don't leave it like this, you won't get the mark. Okay, so what you have to write? Therefore, so minimum or maximum? Maximum. So therefore maximum value of f of x minus 3 is equal to, what is the maximum value? Minus 1. Okay, so the maximum value of f of x minus 3 is minus 1. Okay, so that is question number 6.2. Now let's go to question number 6.3. Okay, let's go to question number 6.3. What is this question number 6.3? Determine the general solution of f of x is equal to g of x. You have to find the general solution of f of x is equal to g of x. Find the general solution. Okay, so what is the equation of f of x? Look at the question, it is given, we wrote it here. What is the equation f of x? 2 sine 2x. So f of x is equal, that means 2 sine 2x is equal to, what is g of x? The one that we drawn, minus cos 2x is equal to minus cos 2x. You have to find the general solution where f of x is equal to g of x. So we know that equation of f of x is 2 sine 2x and equation of g of x is minus cos 2x. Okay, so anyway, to find the general equation, you have to convert this one into a single trigonometry, either sine or cos or tan. Okay, so how can you convert this one into a single trigonometry? Look at this one. What is this meaning of this dot? Dot stands for multiplication. Am I right? So this 2 is multiplied with the sine 2x. Okay, so if I want to take this 2 to the other side, here it is multiplication, so on the other side it is division. Am I right? Okay, so if I take this 2 to the other side, it is division. Similarly, this cos 2x, if I take to this side, it is going to be division. So look at this one. What I'm not taking this minus cos 2x like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is okay, to avoid confusion, let me write it like this: 2 times sine 2x is equal to, this minus I am going to write it like this, minus 1 times cos 2x. Minus 1 times cos 2x is the same as minus cos 2x. Okay, so here it is multiplication, here also it is multiplication. So I want to take this cos 2x to this side. So what must I do? Here it is multiplication, so on this side it is division. So look at how I am going to write: sine 2x, that is already on the left side. Now I am going to take this cos 2x to this side, so it is division, that is cos 2x is equal to, this minus 1 is already there on the right side. Okay, now take this 2 to the right side, so here it is multiplication, so on the other side it is division, that means divided by 2. Okay, so what is this sine 2x divided by cos 2x? That is tan 2x. So it implies that tan 2x is equal to minus 1 over 2. Do you understand? Okay, so we got an expression in single trigonometry. Okay, now what is the next step? You have to write the reference angle. Okay, so what is the reference angle? How can you find the reference angle? Reference angle is equal to tan inverse of, there is no need to write this minus, maybe you studied in your class. Okay, when you find the reference angle, you just take the number, that is 1 over 2. There is no need to write a minus 1 over 2. Okay, so check in your calculator, what is tan inverse of 1 over 2? Okay, in your calculator you will get a 26.57. 26.57. Okay, so reference angle is 26.57. Okay, now you have to find the remaining general solutions based on this reference angle. Okay, so reference angle is 26.57 degrees. Okay, okay, how can you find the remaining angles or remaining values of theta or general solution? So it depends on this one. Excuse me, it depends on this one. Look at this one. tan of an angle is negative half. That means tan is negative. Tan is negative in which quadrants? Tan is negative in here tan is positive, so tan is negative in the second and fourth quadrant. Am I right? Okay, so tan of an angle is negative. It means that tan is negative. Tan is negative in the second and fourth quadrant. So first we can write what about the second quadrant. Okay, second quadrant. So how can you write the second quadrant? What is the angle here? 2x. Okay, so 2x is equal to second quadrant. How can you write? This is 180. So second quadrant 180 minus the reference angle. That means 180 minus the reference angle. What is the reference angle? 26.57 plus, since it is tan, you have to write plus k 180 degrees. Okay, so take your calculator, try to find the answer. 180 minus 26.57, that is 153.43. 153.43 plus k 180. So now 2x is equal to, we don't want to find 2x, we want x. Am I right? So how can you find? Divide throughout with a 2. So if you divide throughout with a 2, then x is equal to 153.43 divided by 2. What is answer? 76.72. 76.72 plus k 90 degrees. So that is the about the second quadrant. So I already told you tan is negative in the second quadrant and fourth quadrant. So now we have to write what about the fourth quadrant. Okay, so fourth quadrant, what about the fourth quadrant? How can you write fourth quadrant? Here the angle is 2x. Okay, so it is 2x is equal to fourth quadrant. How can you write? This is 360. So fourth quadrant is 360 minus reference angle. Here the reference angle 26.57. So it is 360 minus, what is a reference angle? 26. 26. Sorry. 0.57 plus k 180. So 2x is equal to 360 minus 26.57. What is answer? 166.72. 160. No. That is 360 minus 26.57. 333.43. So let me erase that one. This is 26.57. Okay, 333.43 plus k 180. So if you want to find x, that one is 2x. So to find x, you have to throughout multiply with the 2. So divide by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. So what is answer now? X is equal to, this 2 cancel, so it is x is equal to divided by 2, 166.72. 166.72 plus k 90 degrees. So this is the second general solution. Okay, so that is question number 6.3. Now let's move to next question, question number 6.4. Okay, okay, now let's go to the next question, question number 6.4. Question number 6.4. What is that question? Hence determine, that means we have to use the previous one. Okay, so previous question, what are the general solutions we got? 6.3, we got the general solutions. X is equal to 76.72 plus k 90, and x is equal to 166.72 plus k 90. So those are the general solutions we got from the previous question. Okay, so maybe we have to use that one here. Anyway, let's see. Okay, that's why it is written hence. Okay, hence determine the values of x for which look at this condition. You have to find the values of x, not the general solution, exact values of x. Okay, correct point. Okay, what is the x value? Okay, hence find the exact values of x for which what is the condition? F of x is less than g of x. You have to find the values of x for which f of x is less than g of x in the interval. Yeah, there also it's very important. In the interval minus 180 to 0. You don't want to find from minus 180 to 180. You just want to find from minus 180 to 0. That means this positive part you can avoid. Am I right? Okay. So from minus 180 to 0, what are the values of x satisfying this condition? That is the question. Okay. So here look at this one. F of x is less than g of x. You have to find the values of x from minus 180 to 0. This is 0. Okay, so you have to find the values of x from minus 180 to 0 that satisfies the condition f of x is less than g of x. That is the question. Okay, so now look at this one. F of x is less than g of x. So which graph is bigger? Is it f of x or g of x? Of course, g of x is bigger. Am I right? F of x is less than g of x. That means g of x is bigger. G of x is bigger means what? That in the case of graph, g of x is bigger means that g of x graph must be on top and f of x at the bottom. Okay, so this blue graph is our g of x graph. Okay, so that blue graph must be on top. Okay, so blue graph is from minus 180 to 180. I mean minus 180 to 0. So here we can see that which graph is on top here. Here this one is f of x and this one is g of x. G of x graph is on bottom. Am I right? But what we want? We want g of x must be on top. Okay, but after this point, you can see that this is our g of x graph. This is g, this is f, this is g, this is f. Am I right? Okay, so look at this one. After this point, g of x is on top, f of x is at the bottom. That is what we want. We want g of x is on top. The blue graph must be on top. So here you can see after this point, g of x graph is on top. Up to where? Up to this point. Can you see that? Here after that point, you can see that f of x is on top and g of x is at the bottom. So it means that from this point to this point, this blue graph is on top. Before that point, which graph is on top? F of x is on top. Black one is on top. After this point, which graph is on top? Black graph is on top. We don't want that one. Okay, so we want what? Blue graph is on top. Blue graph stands for g of x. G of x is greater. That's why g of x blue graph must be on top. Okay, so it means that from this point to this point, okay, between these two x values, g of x must be on top. Between these two x values, okay, this point and this point, okay, between these two x values, g of x must be on top, or the blue graph is on top. So anyway, we have to find what is the x value at this point and what is the x value at this point. Then we can say that between that two x values, g of x graph is on top, or g of x is greater. Okay, so actually what is that point? That point is the point of intersection of that f of x and g of x. Am I right? So at the point of intersection, you know that that is f of x is equal to g of x. We already got a general solution for that one. F of x is equal to g of x. What are the general solutions? 76 plus k180 and 166 plus k180, I mean 90. Okay, so those are the general solutions we got. Now we have to find the exact value of this point. So here you can see that this point is this point is minus 90. This is minus 90. Am I right? Okay, so that point is after minus 90. Maybe it is minus 95 or minus 100 or minus 105, something like that. Anyway, it is just after that minus 90. Okay, so we have to find the exact value. Okay, so for that what we can do is we have to substitute different values for this k. We have to substitute different values for this k, then try to find an x value just after minus 90. Okay, so which value we can substitute to find the value of this point? So what about if I substitute in this equation the value of k as minus 1? Okay, so what I'm saying here, what is the equation? X is equal to 166.72 plus k90. Okay, so here I'm going to substitute the value of k as k into 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to substitute the value k as minus 1. Okay, if I substitute the value k as minus 1, I'm going to get positive value. Okay, so I want an x value just after that minus 90. This point is just after this minus 90. So I want a point just after minus 90. Maybe it is minus 100, or maybe it is minus 105, or maybe minus 110 or something like that. Somewhere around I want a point. Okay, so which value must I substitute for this k? So what about k is equal to, when k is equal to minus 2? If I substitute k as minus 2, what is the answer? Check in your calculator. 166.72 minus 2 times, I substituted the value k as minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 times 90. There we go. Minus 13 point. Oh, okay. Minus 13 point. Look at this one. Even though we are trying to find this point, but we got another point here. This one. Look at that one. When k is equal to minus 2, what is the answer I got? X is equal to 166.72 minus 2 into 90. That means x is equal to minus 13.28. Okay, we didn't get this value, but we got another value. Look at this point. At this point, just after this 0, that means it's a minus, x value minus there. Okay, so it means that probably this point is minus 13.28. This point, at this point the x value is, it means that at this point here, this is the point, and here the x value is minus 13.28, just after that 0, I mean before that 0. Okay, so anyway, we got this point. We are trying to find this point, but we got this one. So how can we find the x value of that point? So anyway, let's take the first equation. Okay, so what is the first equation? X is equal to, okay, let's stop that one there. let's take the first equation, 76.72 plus k 90. So if I substitute k as minus 2 here, minus 2, so it is 76.72 minus 2 times 90. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so here in this equation, let me substitute the value of k as minus 2. When, just like this, so when k is equal to minus 2, okay, so you have to, it doesn't mean that always it's minus 2, okay, you have to substitute, you can substitute 0, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, or minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. You have to substitute different values for this k, so that you will get a correct x value just after this minus 90 or before that minus 90. Okay, so here if I substitute k as minus 2, what is the answer I'm going to get? X is equal to 76.72 minus 2 into 90. So check in your calculator, what is answer? Minus 103.28. so you can see that minus 103 is just after that minus I, so we are correct. That means here it is minus 103.28. so now we can write the answer. What is the meaning of that? It implies that the value of x satisfying this is our question. You have to find the value of x satisfying f of x is less than g of x. So we already said that f of x is less than g of x, means that g of x graph must be on top. G of x is greater, that means g of x graph is on top. And also we said, between these 2 points g of x is on top. So at this point, what is the x value? Minus 103. Okay, and at this point, what is the x value? Minus 13 point. So it means that between x is an element of minus 103.28 to minus 13.28. Between minus 103 and minus 13, the g of x graph is on top. Okay, or some schools you practice like this, it's the same thing. Either you can write it like this, or minus 103.28 less than x less than minus 13.28. You can write it like that also, it's the same thing. Okay, so that is question number 6.4. that's last question in question number 6. Then now let's move to next question, question number 7. Okay, now let's go to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7. What is that question? E is the apex of a pyramid having a square base ABCD. O is the center of the base. The EBA is theta, ABC. Okay, so before I continue that one, first let me draw that that pyramid. Okay, then from there I will explain. So it is given that the bottom, the base is a square. Okay, okay, so this is I try to draw a rough graph. Okay, so you have to look at the graph given in your question paper. Okay, so this is just a rough graph I try to draw. Then based on this one, you have to answer the remaining questions. Okay, so anyway, let's see what are the given ones. Angle EBA is given as theta. Which one is EBA? EBA, that means this total angle, it is given as theta. Okay, so that angle is given as theta. Now AB is 3. AB, it is given as 3. Oh, okay, one side of the square, the bottom one is a square. Okay, so one side is given as 3, means what about this side? this is 3, this is 3, and this one is 3, because that one is a square. The base is a square pyramid. Now the perpendicular height of the pyramid is x. So the perpendicular height, this perpendicular height, that is OE, it is given that that one is x. Okay. Now what is the first question? Question number 7.1. Question number 7.1. What is that question? Calculate the length of OB. You have to find the length of OB. Which one is OB? This one. This is O and this one is B. So you have to find this length. So how can you find the length of OB? Okay. So maybe it is difficult from there, or if you look at your graph, my graph is too clumsy, so look at your graph. Okay, what is the shape of the base? What is the shape of the base there? It's not a parallelogram, it's a square. Okay, am I right? The shape of the base is a square. Okay, so it is given that this is 3, AB is 3, this is AB, so AB is 3, so we know that this BC is also 3, since this one is a square base. Okay, this one is also 3, CD. Okay, and what about this middle point is O, and you have to find, what is the question 7.1? You have to find the length of this OB. Okay, so tell me, what is this angle? What is this angle? You know, in a square, this is a square, and don't think that is a parallelogram. Okay, I just copied like that here, that's why. Okay, otherwise the base is a square pyramid. It's like this, it's like this. Okay, so what about this angle? That angle is 90 degrees. So it means that this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so let me, to avoid confusion, let me draw that one as a square itself. Okay, so you won't be confused. So the base of that pyramid is a square, so that is this one. Okay, let's say this is a square, this is our A, B, C, D, and this angle is 90. It is given that the sides 3. Okay, and this is a diagonal, and the midpoint is O, and the question is to find the length of OB. Okay, so now look at this triangle BCD. Okay, so in triangle BCD, okay, so this is a right angle triangle, am I right? So we can apply Pythagoras theorem. So what is that one? DB square, hypotenuse is DB. In this triangle, hypotenuse is DB, just opposite of 90. Square is equal to BC square plus CD square. I applied Pythagoras theorem there. Okay, so DB, what is DB? We don't know. That is what we want to find. Okay, so DB square is equal to BC. We know that it is 3, so it is 3 square plus CD is also 3. So 9 plus 9, 18. So DB square is equal to 18. So what is DB? DB square is 18, so DB means root of 18. So now, that is, our question is not to find DB, our question is to find the length of OB. Okay, OB means this one, and you know that in a square the diagonals bisect, am I right? So it means these two lengths are equal. So the total length of DB we got as root 18. So what is the length of, let me write it here, therefore OB is equal to the total length root 18, and these two sides are equal. You know, diagonals of a square bisect. So how can you find this OB? You have to find the half of that one, that means root 18 divided by 2. Check in your calculator, what is root 18 divided by 2? In your calculator you will get 3 by root 2. 3 divided by root 2. That means the length of OB is 3 by root 2. So there we can write this length is 3 by root 2 OB. Okay. So that is question number 7.1. Now let's move to next question, question number 7.2. Okay, now let's go to next question, question number 7.2. Question number 7.2. What is that question? Show that cos theta is equal to 3 by 2 times root of x square plus 9 over 2. What do you want to show? Show that cos theta is equal to 3 over 2 times root of x square plus 9 over 2. You want to show like that. Cos theta is equal to 2 times root of x square plus 9 over 2. Okay. So for that, where we have to start? Cos theta, cos of an angle, and where is theta? Okay, it is given that this angle is theta. What is that angle? So it's maybe it is difficult from here. You look at your graph. Okay, so let me try to draw that graph roughly here. This is a square, and can you see there is a triangle like this? Okay, you have to identify that one. This is A, B, and this is our E. Okay, can you see the front side triangle standing upwards? Okay, like this. Okay, this triangle AEB. So in triangle AEB, this angle is given as theta. Am I right? Okay, so that one is theta, and they took the cos of that angle. Am I right? Cos theta. So here, before I go to that one, tell me, what is this AB? What is the length of AB? It is given as 3. Am I right? Okay, so if I draw a line like this from the center to that midpoint here, okay, that means from here to the midpoint. Okay, so this angle is going to be 90 degrees. Am I right? Okay, now this total length AB is 3. So what about this length? It's a half of that one, that is 3 over, let me call this one as F, this point as F. Okay, so what is this FB? It is 3 over 2. Okay, so this is our F. Okay, this is B, and what is this length? FB, 3 over 2. Okay, so this length is 3 over 2. That means the half of that length AB is given as 3, and this is the midpoint. I draw a line like this, so it means that FB is 3 over 2, or half of 3, that is 3 over 2. Okay, now this angle is 90 degrees because I draw perpendicular line like that. Okay, so here if I try to apply cos theta, what is cos theta on this triangle? FBEF, AEB. Okay, before I consider AEB, let me consider this one. Okay, if I apply in triangle EBF, or yeah, BEF, in triangle BEF, okay, this angle is 90 degrees. So it means that this B is the hypotenuse. Am I right? Because opposite of 90 degree is the hypotenuse. Then cos theta. So cos theta, you know that cos theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Am I right? So this is theta. So what is adjacent side? This EF is the opposite side, am I right? So what is adjacent side? FB. Okay, so or BF. So cos theta is BF divided by hypotenuse, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is this BF, then hypotenuse is BE. So divided by BE. So cos theta is equal to BF divided by BE. So we want to prove something like this. Don't forget that. Okay. So what is BF? We know that BF we already got 3/2. So it is cos theta is equal to 3/2 divided by BE. So here we can see that we got a 3 here, and these 2 will go to denominator. Okay, so it means cos theta is equal to 3/2 divided by B. Now in small classes you studied A by B divided by C. How can you write? If it is like this, you just multiply these two. That means A divided by BC. You can write it like this: A by B divided by C. That is A by BC. Similarly, 3/2 divided by B, that is 3 divided by, you just multiply these two, that is 2 into BE. Okay, so here we can see the one that we want to prove 3 divided by 2 into here B. This is B now. Okay, so somehow we want to prove. Now the next step what I am going to think is, how can I prove that BE is root of x square plus 9/2? If I can prove that BE is that root of x square plus 9/2, then I'm done. Okay, so now for that, where is this BE? This is BE, am I right? So, and they want x also. Okay, x is which one? This perpendicular height is given as x. Do you remember in the question it is given that the perpendicular height is x. Okay, so excuse me. So let me erase this one. So that triangle is gone. Now we done with that triangle. So that triangle BEF, we took it to apply cos theta. Okay, BEF, that triangle. Okay, now look at the next triangle. In our answer we want x also. What is that root of x square? That is, we want to prove that is BE. Okay, so x is the perpendicular height. So look at this is our x. Let me draw that triangle there. This is our x, and then what about and we want to prove that B. We want to prove that B is that one. So let's consider this triangle. So this is since this one is a perpendicular height, this angle is 90 degrees. Am I right? So which triangle I'm going to take? OBE. So in triangle OBE. So let me draw that triangle here. This is our O, B and E. This is the perpendicular height. So it is given that that one is x. Since it is a perpendicular height, that angle is 90. And we already proved that OB is 3/√2. And here we have to find B. So B is the hypotenuse. So there also we can apply Pythagoras theorem. Am I right? Okay. So how can you apply Pythagoras theorem? BE square is equal to OE square plus OB square. So BE square is equal to, what is OE? X. So it is x square plus OB. OB is 3/√2 square. Okay, so B square is equal to x square plus 3 square is 9, √2 square. √2 square is 2. Okay, so that is B square. So therefore what is B? Square root of x square plus 9 over 2. So let me call this as equation number 2. Can you say what we have to do? Substitute this equation number 2 in equation number 1. B is equal to this one. So if you substitute in this equation, so next step you have to write substitute equation number 2 in equation number 1. So instead of this B, you have to write this one. Is it not that what we want to prove? 3 by 2 into that one. Okay. So guys, that is question number 7.2. Okay. So you have to complete this one. Substitute equation number 2 in equation number 1. That means instead of this B, cos theta is equal to 3 over 2. What is B? This one. And that is what we want to prove. Okay. So that is question number 7.2. Now let's go to the last question, 7.3. Question number 7.3. What is that question? If the volume of the pyramid is 15 meter cube, calculate the value of theta. Okay, so before that, theta is, we know cos theta. We already proved that cos theta is equal to 3 divided by 2 into root of x square plus 9 over 2. Previous question we already proved that cos theta is that one. Okay. Now it is given in this question that the volume of the pyramid is 15 meters cube. Volume is 15 meter cube. Okay. Now if it is like that, what is the value of theta? That is a question. So in the case of a pyramid, what is the formula to find the volume? Volume is 1 over 3. You have to know that equation. Square pyramid, that means base, if one side is A, the other side is also A. So what is the area? A square. Okay. Then since it is a pyramid, you have to multiply with the height. That means 1 over 3 A square H. That is a formula to find the volume of a square pyramid. Now that is equal to 15. So just substitute the values that we know. 1 over 3 into A stands for the base. What is the base given? It is 3. So it is 3 square times H. H stands for the perpendicular height. What is the perpendicular height given? It is X. It is given in the question that the perpendicular height is H. That is equal to 15. Here this is division, denominator. If I want to take this 3 to the other side, it is multiplication. So it is 3 squared times X is equal to 15 times 3. From here, what is X? This is multiplication. So other side it is division. So it is 15 times 3 divided by 3 square. So check in your calculator what is the value. 3 cancel. You don't worry about this one. You can use your calculator. Okay. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. So it means that the value of X is 5. Now what is the question? You have to find the volume. You have to find the length of, you have to find the length of theta. What I'm saying, you have to find the value of theta. Okay. So how can you find now? We know the X value and there is an expression we already got from the previous question. So therefore cos theta is equal to 3 divided by 2 times X square. What is the value of X? 5. So it is 5 square plus 9 over 2. Take your calculator without doing much step. Just find the final answer. 0.276. In your calculator you will get 0.276 cos theta. So therefore what is theta? How can you find? Inverse. That means cos inverse of 0.276. So check in your calculator what is answer. Cos inverse of 0.276, that is 73.97. 73.97. So it means that the value of theta is 73.97. So guys, that's the end of November 2016 trigonometry section. It was a lengthy section, but I hope you understand all of these questions. Okay, so watch regularly, keep on watching. Okay, try to practice maximum number of questions, then only you can do this type of questions. It's a tricky one. Okay, so anyway, hope you enjoyed my class. See you on the next lesson. Thank you.